Chairman, thank you. Madam Secretary, thank you. I'm anxious to have you as my guest in Kansas at Fort Riley and Fort Leavenworth, and I hope we can find a time to do that. General McConville, good to see you again. I want to focus on European Defense Initiative and what it means. I heard the chairman ask about in-strength earlier in the questioning. We have the 1st Infantry Division, as you know, stationed in Europe as part of Atlantic Resolve mission. The 1st Infantry Division only has 2 brigades, which takes me back to my constant conversation with you and others. Is the Army looking to increase its presence, as the Army looks to increase its presence in Europe and continues to rely upon a rotational basis, what conversations is the Army having on creating additional brigade combat teams? General?
Well, Senator, right now we're not looking at increasing brigade combat teams. We're, quite frankly, with the end strength we have and the size of the Army and the resources, we're looking at holding what we have. We are looking at creating new organizations like the Multi-Domain Task Force and some of the other enablers, especially with mobile short-range air defense capabilities and some other type of units, but we are not looking right now at creating additional brigade combat teams.
How does the Army plan to use the National Guard's 5 armored brigades to assist our partners and allies in Europe?
Well, the way, Senator, first of all, the Guard does incredible things. We're real proud of them, and what they're doing both at home and away is just magnificent. We don't go to war without them, and quite frankly, we don't do peacetime operations without them. So they are an integral part of the rotations. When we look at a Guard unit, we don't want them rotating every other year, but we do, and they want to have a mission out there, and they're part of the team, and so they will be part of that rotation in the future, just like they're doing right now.
What kind of training do you envision for our Guard and reserve soldiers? What will they be conducting in regard to our partners and NATO allies? What kind of training is the Guard going to be engaged in?
Well, if we take a look at, we have Guard over there right now working with our allies and partners. They are highly trained, and so they're doing, basic combat type training. It could be with javelins, it could be with stingers, it could be with combined arms, basic marksmanship, but they run the gamut of the type of training that our allies and partners need, and there's a much bigger emphasis moving right now on logistics and sustainment and maintenance of some of the equipment that we're giving to or loaning or allowing our allies and partners to use.
In regard to the javelins and other equipment, for us to be fully equipped as an Army by 2030, the budget calls for transition from development to production for a wide range of aircraft, precision fire, ground vehicles, and missile defense systems. I've suggested this to the chairman, although I don't know what his reaction was, but that we consider having a hearing in this room or perhaps in a classified setting in which we look at supply chain, where we are in our capabilities of providing the necessary equipment to Ukraine, and how to make certain that we and our allies have the necessary technical capabilities through production to meet our current demands. The war in Ukraine and our competition with China has made future production demands for these capabilities even more pronounced. In your opinion, does the Army have sufficient industrial base capacity to successfully execute modernize its priorities? And how will the Army manage transition from prototype to production? And how will the Army partner with industry to produce these capabilities? Madam Secretary.
Senator, I think we do have, I'm quite confident in the defense industrial base in terms of it being able to meet our needs with the work that we're doing across our 6 modernization portfolios. We are certainly working closely with industry to work through the supply chain challenges that I think have become very evident during the pandemic. But we have a 15-year organic industrial base plan in the Army just to work on our depots, our arsenals, to make sure that they're able to produce what we need and repair the systems that we're developing. And I think, in terms of crossing over, if you will, from the development phase into procuring some of the bigger systems that we're working on right now, we are really trying to look very early at affordability issues, the sustainment costs, the maintenance costs of all of these systems, to make sure that we're factoring that in and that we're able to afford it going forward. So I think we're on a good path, but we're going to need to continue to have a close dialogue with industry going forward.
And I think in this setting, you can't be more concrete than that, and I understand that. I do hope that maybe that if Fort Riley and Fort Leavenworth are insufficient to entice you to come to Kansas, that our defense industrial base would be of interest to you as well.
Well, I'm pleased to say I got to Fort Leavenworth. I've not gotten to Fort Riley yet, but I was able to go up and see the Combined Arms Center a few weeks ago. It was great.
Thank you for that visit.
Senator Rand, before I go to Senator Shaheen, I just want to tell you that I just talked to the ranking member. We're going to have a hearing on supply chain and inventory and classified session. What
Mr. Chairman,
power you have.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for demonstrating my credibility and power in front of this august audience. Thank you.